Liberalism. Liberalism is all about freedom, and in today's world, it's the most popular ideology for most countries. It focuses on people's individual rights to make their own choices, and the government should protect these rights. Liberals believe in having fair elections and being ruled by a people-approved government. The markets should also be free for everyone, and the laws should treat everyone the same. Other important cornerstones are things like free speech, practicing their religion without fear, and having privacy. Totalitarianism. In contrast to liberalism, we have totalitarianism. In this ideology, the government controls everything in people's life. From what they do every day, their jobs, and even what they think. In this system, there is usually one leader or group in charge of everything. To keep people under control, they usually control the media, what is being taught in school, and they don't allow free speech, which most of the times means that they don't allow people to disagree with them. I think it's needless to say, but at a totalitarian rule, people usually don't have a lot of privacy. Anarchism. Anarchism is the idea that there is absolutely no government needed, and that people are able to organize themselves. There's a lot of misconception about this, but real anarchists believe in working together voluntarily and without being forced by authorities. They think that everyone should have control over their own lives and make big decisions together as a community and not through government. Therefore, they try to change society through direct actions like protests, building all the communities, and leading with example. Conservatism. Conservatism is about keeping traditions and values which people have followed for a long time. Conservatives believe it's important to maintain the way things have been because it has worked for generations before, and therefore they want to keep things the same way as always. They support ideas like strong families, religious values, and respect for authority. Additionally, they also think that change should only be made very slowly and carefully to make sure they really improve society and not harm them. Capitalism. Capitalism is probably known to most of you and the system most countries run on. It's an economic system where businesses and properties are privately owned rather than by the government. In capitalism, people are able to start companies or stores to make money for themselves and not for the state. The main goals are to earn profits and let the market decide what products succeed based on competition. Therefore, people are able to buy, sell, and produce whatever they want. Of course, this has some limits, but this rule applies most of the time. Because everyone can sell basically anything, success in these businesses depends on meeting the needs of the customers. Pacifism. Pacifism is the fundamental belief that violence and war are wrong, no matter the circumstances. Pacifists argue that conflicts should be resolved peacefully through talk and negotiation rather than fighting. They believe in nonviolence and often participate in peaceful protests to express their views. Pacifists hold that all life is valuable and that there are always peaceful solutions to disputes. Technocracy. Technocracy is a system where experts in science and technology manage the government. In this system, politicians are elected not through voting, but by their skills. Engineers or scientists, for example, are put in certain leading roles based on data and technical knowledge about the subject. The people who know the most about the subject are best suited to make policies about it. This way, they ensure the efficient and effective management of society's resources and challenges. For example, the Minister of Defense would be a general that has a lot of experience in his subject. Environmentalism. Environmentalism is about protecting the environment from pollution and destruction. Therefore, they work to conserve nature, reduce waste, and limit pollution. The main belief behind that is that the Earth's environment, like forests, oceans, and wildlife, are vital for our survival, and therefore it must be protected at all costs and preserved for future generations. Today, we can see this movement protesting a lot for laws and policies that protect the environment, like Fridays for Future, and they try to motivate people to sustainable practices in daily life and businesses. Nationalism. Nationalism is a strong feeling of pride in one's own country. Because of this, nationalists believe their country's needs and interests come before those of other countries. They often emphasize their nation's culture, history, and identity, arguing that it's unique and needs to be protected at all costs. Due to these beliefs, nationalism can lead to a strong desire for self-governance, protection of their own interests, and can influence policies that focus on boosting the nation's economy and security. Populism. Populism is a political approach that aims to appeal to ordinary people that feel that their concerns are ignored and disregarded by the quote-unquote established elite. Therefore, populists often frame politics as a battle between the good common folk and the bad and corrupt elites, and they promise to be the voice for them. This ideology can appear in various forms across the political spectrum, both left and right. Populists typically advocate for direct action and decision-making by people, often through votes or other forms of direct engagement. This way, it suggests people that they alone represent the true voice of people. Fascism. Fascism is a far-right ideology that promotes extreme authority, nationalism, and dictatorial power. It opposes democracy and liberalism and stands for a one-party state that controls everything. Fascists believe in suppressing opposition, controlling the media, and promoting aggressive nationalism. They often emphasize ethnic superiority or purity over other ethnic groups. In history, fascist governments have used propaganda, state terror, and alliances with powerful industrial and military figures to maintain control and get society towards unity, war, and complete obedience. Feminism. Feminism is a movement that focuses on women's rights on the grounds of political, social, and economic equality to men. Basically, feminists work to make sure that women and men are treated equally and have the same chances in life. Therefore, they fight against the unfairness that women have faced in history, like not getting the same pay for the same work or facing violence just because they're a woman. Monarchism. Monarchism supports the idea of having a king or a queen in charge of an entire country or region. People believe that monarchism think that having a monarch can bring stability and continuity because the same family rules over centuries. They also believe that a monarch can be a unifying figure for the country, representing traditions and national identity. Communism. Communism is a way of structuring society where there is no private ownership of property, and everything is owned by everyone. Communists believe that all wealth and resources should be shared equally among all people, so there is no rich or poor. In a communist system, the government plans and controls the economy, deciding what to produce and how to distribute goods to everyone. Basically, they aim to create a society where everyone works according to their ability and receives according to their needs. Socialism. Socialism is a political and economic system where the community or the government always controls major businesses and resources. Socialists believe that this allows wealth and power to be shared more equally among everyone. They argue that by managing industries like healthcare and education for the community or state, everyone can have access to what they need, like good schools, doctors, and secure jobs. Corporatism. Opposing to socialism, corporatism is an approach to society where major interest groups, such as business, labor, and sometimes the government, work together to make decisions and manage the economy. It's different from both capitalism and socialism because it emphasizes collaboration between these groups to decide on policies that affect the whole country. In corporatism, these groups negotiate with each other to create a balance so that no single group has too much power and the need of the whole society is always considered. Libertarianism. Libertarianism is a political philosophy. It strongly favors personal freedom and argues against too much government control. Libertarians believe that individuals should be free to do as they wish as long as they don't harm others. This includes economic freedom, like starting a business or trading without too much government interference. They think the best role for government is just to protect people's rights and property, but not to get involved too much into day-to-day choices and the economy.